Love Take Two, Greg and Carleen LeMay.
Hello.
Life with the LeMays.
Life with LeMays. So a lot of people are surprised when we tell them that we did not live together before we got married. They're even more shocked to find out we only spent 3 days together before.
3 days.
3 days together before we actually got married. So our honeymoon was the longest.
We dated for a while.
Yeah, almost 2 years.
Almost 2 years. But we didn't live together. Weekend here and there, but the longest, like Carleen said, the longest that we ever were in a space together was 3 days.
Exactly. So after that, we got married, obviously we had our honeymoon, we came back, and then you moved into my house that I had for like 7 years before. So what was that like, moving in with us?
Initially it was a little strange. Before we got married, we had done a lot of work in the house. We had done some painting. We had put up new blinds, upstairs and down. Just a lot of changes, a lot of not structural changes, but
Decorative changes.
So, but it was still a little bit like moving into someone else's house. And just because there was already furniture there, there was already people there. Obviously, I'm white, Carleen's black.
Surprise.
I know, right? In case you didn't notice. And Carleen's 2 kids are black, so it was a little different. I must admit, but I knew it going into it, so I just rolled with it. When I found curly little hairs in the shower, I knew who they came from.
Hey, I'm natural, so that's just part of the deal. And so for me, it was definitely different because I had always said that I had never expected to, if I got married again, to move into my house, the current house that I have with someone, or vice versa, move into their former home with their former spouse. But logistically, it just made sense for us to stay here. With my youngest being in high school at the time, and now he's a senior, so it just made sense to stay where we are. But there were some challenges, I would think. That first day that you started, this is actually before the wedding, the first day you started moving stuff in, I kind of like had a panic attack almost. It was really weird because it was like, oh my gosh, this is real. Like,
was that the day you cleaned out the closet?
Yeah, exactly. That's the day you actually started moving like clothes in, and it was like, oh my God. And I remember you were spending the weekend with me, and it took me like, I don't know, a few hours to kind of get back to being me. It was a little like, oh God, this is really happening. So
it was an interesting couple hours because Carleen, who's normally very talkative, very animated, was flatlining. And it was a little like, what's wrong? What did I do?
Right.
So it was.
Yeah, if I'm too quiet, then you kind of wonder what's going on. So, but yeah, so I wanted to do this video just because I think people are always curious about, what's it like to blend lives. We're a blended family. We have 7 kids between the 2 of us. You have 4 and I have 3.
Yes, ma'am.
And so it's been interesting.
It's been
a journey.
There have been ups, there have been downs, but it's all been worth it. Carleen is my best friend, and I am madly in love with her. And every day, I love waking up and looking at her. I love waking up because I know she's right next to me. I go to work, and when I come home, I'm excited to get home. And I walk in the door, and she's always dressed to the nines. And
okay, not dressed to the nines,
wow.
But I do make a point to stay dressed before he comes home. I don't want my husband, the only time to see me is in pajamas or sweatpants. So I make a point to stay in my clothes, have makeup on, so that when you do get home from work, or if I'm working out, I make sure that I look appealing, so that when you come home, it's a nice thing to come home to.
It is. It's a wonderful thing to come home to. And Carleen works out of the house, so she has an opportunity. That gives her the opportunity to cook dinner. So when I get home, the house smells great. There's always something, there's always dinner just about ready. On the nights when she's just crazy busy, I get home, I cook dinner, and it's fine. It works out beautifully. But I do appreciate coming home. My wife looks great. The house is in shape. The food's almost ready. It's like, this is wonderful. And so, yeah, I appreciate that, sweetheart.
Okay. Well, again, we just wanted to make a quick video talking about blending our lives together. So that's about it. And this is Carlene and Greg LeMay. And we are
Love Take Two.
And we will see you. If you like this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. And we'll see you on our next video. Take care.
Night, guys.